Prime Minister Narendra Modi na Manipur da satnabigidamak visa gi mathau tade haina Inner Manipur Parliamentary Constituency MP Dr. Angomsa Bimol akoijamna phangdokrai. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman na ngarang Lok Sabha da putokiba Manipur gi budget ki matang da ngasi pangthokiba general discussion da MP Bimol na Manipur Assembly da putoki mahuta Parliament putoliba budget asi karama makhal gi budget no haina hangladuna budget asida palliva sanpham asina Manipur gi miyambu nathairiga thamne haibu utli Thakun Mathoi Henna Irang Mayok Naribasi Matang the budget Asida, Palivra Haina Hanke, Irang Asina Maramurigami, Lissing Humpuena, Awaba Kudongsa, Bakia Mayok Naribasida, Hanaki budget Asida Karigumba Mata Panday. Seltungi Hiram the Wariba State Amabo, Center Gimateng Yaudana, Mataukaramna Tenagado Ribano, Manipurgi Irang Asida, United Nations Natragana, Malemgi, Financial Institutions Singna Mateng Pangna Bhaivanate, Sumnagi, Federal Government Agi, Ahen Bar source of money adu Haivane. Budget ke senpham asina mayum makai lejadraba school kabang amdaba amadi awaba mayok naduna lairiba mi lising humpu asi matau karamna thengnagadori bono haina hangki Bihar gi damak lupa crore lising taramathoi ge samanga pikhraga Manipur da pidribasi Bihar na Manipur ge hena Indian Oirabra haina su hangki MP na makha taraduna Manipur da tholiba irang asi maru oidaba amadona Uhanaba Center Lengan Honore, Manipur Gimiamna, India Madi, Manipur State Kalinari Bamari Matanga, Hankia, Hanaribasi, Karigino, Kantavamatam Oire, Hanaki Bazet Ashida, Hiram Kiaki Matanga, Pandaba, Yauriba Sing, Asi Semdok Pamatautai, Madunatana, Parliament K, Sanabi Matungina, Masing Yambanangam Badona, passed over the Tagumsi Haiki.
This is not a regular thing that the state budget is discussed on the floor of the House here. But there is a story about why this budget is here and what does this budget speaks of. First of all, it speaks of the exclusions and the contemptuous nature in which the present government has dealt with the state of Manipur. The number will speak, the measures that is reflected on the budget speaks. We have talked a lot about Prime Ministers not visiting the state. Initially, at the beginning of the crisis in 2023, I was heard that the Prime Ministers did not visit. Today, I'm almost indifferent. Whether he visits the states or not does not matter anymore. But the rest of the country should know that there is no visa issue for the Prime Minister to visit the country. He may go to Ukraine and talk about peace, and his own citizens have been slaughtered and more than 60,000 people have been rendered homeless. This kind of a behavior can never be justified by anybody who swears by nationalism. Now let me talk about this budget in two ways. What does these numbers speak of? The first one is this, a clear sense of the state of economy of this state called Manipur. Look at the fiscal liabilities. It's 37.07% of the GSDP. What does it speak of? It speaks of a terrible state of an economy, the debt burden that the state witnesses. Look at the revenue expenditure, 61% of which roughly around 45% goes to salaries and pension. Look at the capital expenditure, 39%. What kind of a development project or development of the state that you can sense from these numbers? We're asking for additional source of money from the federal government as a constituent state of India. You don't get anything. How do we deal with this 60,000 people who are rendered homeless, villages wiped out, women and children suffering, children not able to go to school? Had this crisis been there in Bihar or UP, you would have felt the nation in you for you to reflect on your budget. That sense of invisibility is what this government has been doing. Expect the people of this state to feel like any other Indians and be proud of being an Indian. People have begun to start asking questions about the relationship between our state and the Union of India. People are remembering the instrument of annexation. People are remembering that controversial merger agreement. Why? Because you have allowed the feelings to be groomed like that. And this budget is an addition to that series of action that you have conducted. I've seen floods in my home state. Even the Raj Bhavan was inundated. Every year it has become a ritual. Did the budget reflect anything on that in the national budget? Does it reflect in this budget as well? Nothing of that kind. 11,500 crore, 11,500 वाला जो दिया गया था आपने बिहार को, क्यों? Because Bihar is more Indian than Manipur. You think that you said that you will try to help the state of Assam and Himachal for the flood. Nothing has been said about Manipur. Ask your governor how the residents of that Raj Bhavan was inundated. Was it a foreign country? Or even if it were an ambassador's house, you would have invested. This budget is the same story that I have been witnessing. What do we do now? What can I expect from this government? And this budget not taking care of the IDPs, not taking care of the basic needs of that economy, not taking care of the flood that has become a ritual, and you think it's going to be another ritual to pass in this floor of the house. It's very saddening